On to my cancers. So you have the Two of Swords, Two of Wands, King of Cups, the Judgment, Three of Wands, the Justice, the Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Two of Cups, and last but not least, you have the Seven of Swords. So what I'm seeing here for a lot of you cancers is the Two of Wands, well, the Two of Swords, Two of Wands, King of Cups, the Judgment, Three of Wands. That's a no-brainer. Obviously, you cancers and you cancers and somebody else, how do I say this? Like you're just looking, you're reflecting about your type of relationships that you've had, okay? And a lot of you cancers are looking at it from a perspective of not really being able to date any one of these people because so in other words, you're reflecting about how you got to start making better decisions about the type of people that you date, right? Let me just sum it up. Because the King of Cups, the Two of Wands, okay, kind of have to do certain cards backwards just to prove my point. And the Two of Swords, this is about the guardedness that you had to feel, right? How it is that relationships didn't necessarily feel correct with you. And the Two of Wands represents kind of the broad spectrum or overlooking certain things, right? Trying to take a look at the big picture. How is it that when push comes to shove, your life is going to essentially play itself out? And the thing is that the King of Cups is you. The King of Cups is how you're the one that's laying out your own life, right? From a quantum perspective, but also a physical application perspective as well. And the Judgment and the Three of Wands represents kind of the risk that's involved, right, in your life. How it is that certain things played out the way you wanted it to, certain things didn't. So you got to understand that on a Kabbalistic tree, the moon, which is ruled by Cancer crabs, okay, the moon, Leo, and Scorpio, and certain elements of Aquarius is actually in the middle of the tree, the middle pillar. So it's not on the pillar of severity with the left hand. It's not on the pillar of mercy with the right hand. So it's actually in the middle. So what this means here is that you walk in between those two pillars of severity and mercy, okay? And Cancer crab actually represents, right, since it's ruled by the moon, when you are going up the Kabbalistic tree the correct way, the moon, i.e. Cancer, is the doorway into spirituality. So it's first of recognizing that physical reality is not the end-all be-all in the first place, right? And why that's important in the first place is because this is essentially what it is that you Cancer crabs realize, that you got to start taking a look at the type of relationships that you've been through and understand that what you're looking at, right? Like you can't necessarily be happy with every single one of your past relationships, because now that a lot of you Cancers are self-reflecting, you realize that a lot of you shouldn't have been in, you had no business being in certain relationships, that you should have chose better and that you should have made better decisions. Ultimately, we've all been there. We've all been there. We've all been there. The Judgment and the Three of Wands, again, you got to start making better judgment calls. Three of Wands, and you're going to start paying attention to what else is out there. I said this before, right, in the Leo reading that I just did, that that the Three of Wands very much so is a card of traveling, is a card of thinking about what else is out there, trying to envision what else is out there, the possibilities, right? And a lot of you Cancer crabs are now open to, you're open to being in something new, being in a relationship, trying something new, maybe even switching lanes. And what I mean by that is, a type of a relationship style, like a swinger or an open relationship or something like this, right? You maybe have went from trying to be monogamy and traditional to a swinger or open relationship or something like this. Now you're willing to try those types of relationships, right? As to where before you was just a monogamous relationship. You were into monogamy, and you may have gotten your feelings hurt if the person wasn't just dedicated to only you. But see, Cancer crabs is very much so a zodiac sign that learns as they get older, right? When they're young, kind of knuckleheaded. As they get older, a lot of you learn when you get older, right? Capricorn is actually in reverse. They learn very early, and as they get older, they can start to live their life and experiment, relax, and enjoy themselves as they get older. But for Cancer crabs, it's very much so you get to enjoy your life, or even though certain things will happen to you when you're young, you will try to find certain things. Usually, right? Usually, of course, you will find certain ways and outlets to enjoy your life. And as you get older, you start to become more serious as time goes on. So the justice now represents, and a lot of you Cancer crabs are taking responsibility for that and realizing that, you should have made certain decisions. But it's okay, because at the end of the day, what's done is done and can't be undone, right? You Cancer crabs just need to essentially understand what to do next. The Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands represents, as a result, yes, at the end of the day, you Cancer crabs are learning, okay? You're definitely learning how to emotionally mature. A lot of times, Cancer crabs, their physical bodies, a lot of times they'll very pretty. They'll be above 18, however old, financially successful, a lot of them, all that type of stuff. Problem is that they're emotionally, they be immature. Y'all can be immature, right? And through the lessons, and this is why patience is so important for y'all. This is why Cancer crabs rules over patience, and Capricorn rules over time, right? If you've ever read War and Peace, the book War and Peace, at the end of it, it says that the strongest of all warriors, or the mightiest of all warriors, one of those two, the mightiest of all warriors, or the strongest of all warriors, are these two, time and patience, referring to Capricorn and Cancer crabs, right? Cancer crabs represents patience, Capricorn represents time. So this is part of the reason why it's so important for you, Cancer crabs, to actually have more patience with other people, right? Don't immediately think that people are against you, because a lot of times the mentality that a lot of you have is very much so, like I said, trying to think about if someone is doing something to you. And a lot of times, most of the times, actually, it's really not. And I've said this before, but I guess I'll give y'all a sneak peek, and to kind of open up y'all eyes and share some occult secrets with y'all, right? To kind of show y'all how I'm telling the truth. The world is not necessarily super caught up with or super dangerous the way that you think it is. And the reason for that is because how I can show and prove this is because you've ever, when someone is trying to waste your time, you've ever confronted them, and what did they do, right? Most of the times when you confronted somebody, and Cancer crabs does have the guts to confront somebody, because if you've never seen a Cancer crab upset, I have. Cancer crab, y'all will confront somebody. So the thing about Cancer crab is, that for y'all, what happens when you confronted them? They back down, and they really wasn't really into the confrontation, right? Now, that's how most people are. They told it to you in the movie Fight Club, right, with Brad Pitt and Ed Norton. Most people do not even really want to fight, really. And it's the true thing, because a lot of people like to, there's been situations, and I have cancer crabs in my own chart. There's been situations where people have decided that they're going to talk stuff, try to ruin my reputation, talk stuff. And then when I'm like, all right, you wanted me to confront you, right? Right? I come outside of my own house, or I should say my apartment, and I go, all right, you wanted to go ahead and you wanted to start this. You wanted this confrontation. Let's do this. And then they back down like a punk. So most people don't even really want to fight. Most people don't really want to get into confrontation. They're really just talking. But see, this is where having patience really will help you out. Because if you don't have patience, you'll be sitting up there really taking off on somebody, right? Bop, boom, beep, bop, boom, right? With the hands. You'll be taking off on somebody. Beep, boom, ba, 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 ba. All that other type of stuff, right? But while you're taking off on them, these are people who are not even built for confrontation in the first place. So you kicking the butt of a person who's talking a lot of trash, but in all intents and purposes, for the most part, it's not dangerous to you, right? So you have to have patience in order for you to understand if a person meant to be grimy, meant to be disrespectful, because a lot of times where our emotions go, everyone's emotions go, and this is something that you have to train yourself to do. A lot of times our emotions go in a way where when something that's inconvenient happens, our emotions immediately rush to, this person is doing this. But see, it takes patience to not immediately do anything and sit back and go, let me analyze this. Virgo, right? Let me sit back and see if this person really meant me harm. And then you end up coming to a decision. But when it's happening instantaneously, you're actually in a cognitive dissonance, two conflicting ideas. Now, why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this to help you out and to help you solve that problem that a lot of you have. The Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands represents, yes, you're going to meet other people, but the thing is that how will they experience you? The Two of Cups, the Seven of Swords, how will they experience you? Some of them, if you're looking for a real relationship in the future, Cancer, and I'm sure a lot of you are, some of you are even doing it now, the Two of Cups, the Seven of Swords, you're going to have people who are going to try to play you and play with your time and play games with you. If you do not have said patience, you will essentially get very angry with these people, and you could potentially end up making certain decisions that works against you and works against your own self-interest. I'm not saying that you're going to resort to putting your hands on them. And to put it into context, that's something that I used to do when I was a teenager. But the point that I'm trying to make here is you will jump to conclusions if you don't have said patience, and you will misperceive things. See, this is why I say that emotions needs to be taken out of the equation, because emotions skew or twist proper decision making. And see, Cancer crabs being emotional, the zodiac signs that represents emotion, this is where the skewing of problem solving happens, because you're supposed to go from being emotional to now problem solving, learning how to analyze it, learning how to, what does analytical ability means, to understand it, to get a better understanding by studying it, putting things into perspective. And then once you understand it, then you have control over it, because you know how to fix it now. You know how to control, you know how to manipulate it now. You understand what I'm saying? So you being in the middle of the Kabbalistic tree just represents where it is that you're going to go with this thing. You're in the middle of the road. You need to make a decision. What is the principle of what you're going to do? What exactly is going to happen? Okay? Wisdom is how you can teach other people. Understanding is your own firsthand experiences. You, Cancer crabs, being in the middle of those two principles, what are you going to choose first? You have to go to understanding first, then wisdom, then you go to the top. Okay? Now, what does this have to do with it? It has to do with it because once you, Cancer crabs, are patient enough, and you gather the ability to start paying attention to the manipulative games that people try to play on you, you won't have to be so upset. You won't have to immediately think that someone is getting over on you. And I'm saying the same thing to the Scorpios. You don't have to think that someone is playing games with you. Most people, even if they're playing games with you, most people probably are too scared to actually even really do something, really. So you have to put everything, into perspective. Your emotions will skew that to where you think that you have to be extreme in order for you to get respect. Because that's part of the reason why there's a lot of Cancer crabs. Y'all are like that. Y'all think that people don't respect you if people playing games with you. Same thing with Scorpio. That's not the case, though. You have to learn to become thicker skinned. A lot of y'all may have the exoskeleton, right? The crab, the crustaceans. Because anything that rules over crustaceans is really Cancer crabs, right? So, or has a relationship to it. So it's just that the crab is just seen as the Cancer, but that includes Scorpio, right? Because a scorpion has an exoskeleton, lobsters, shrimps, just any kind of shellfish, right? Yes, I've been studying you Cancer crabs. Yes. So crustaceans, though, but you got to understand about crustaceans. Your zodiac sign, Cancer, is that y'all are very resilient, and that crustaceans are actually the most successful. I ain't gonna say the most successful. One of the most successful type of insectoid or insect in the entire insect animal kingdom, that variation of animal. Besides bees and crustaceans are the two highest order of insects on the planet. I've been doing a lot of studying on Cancer crabs. So yes, you have to study the zodiac signs. Yes, it's probably a good idea that you do that. So as a result, again, you have to understand that you're sitting at the top. You're looking good. No need to misinterpret. Date, relax, enjoy yourself. If a person doesn't want to rock with you, let's clarify the justice. If a person doesn't want to rock with you, who cares? If they do, good. And adapt to the situation accordingly without losing who you are. That makes you you. Simple. To clarify the justice, the high priestess, the four of wands, the judgment. Exactly. The fool. Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The high priestess, the four of wands, the judgment. It's all up to you. But you have to learn to develop your patience and stop trying to fight against something that you misperceive as being bad for you, so you can actually be able to enjoy your life, have things become better, do what it is that you want. Because a lot of you Cancer crabs, a lot of y'all are uncomfortable. Really. A lot of y'all, I be knowing a lot of you Cancer crabs off the scenes. I be meeting a lot of y'all off the scenes, off camera. A lot of y'all are uncomfortable with y'all lives. A lot of y'all be uncomfortable. A lot of y'all be thinking, oh, this, that, and the third. You can become more comfortable again. All you need to do, or be comfortable at all you need to do is just understand that things are going your way, but you have to understand how they're going your way. The fool, tell the person you're not messing with them if you two of you don't end up being or working well together. Simple. Your problems can be solved. They can be solved with simple solutions. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. I want you Cancer crabs to run these numbers up. A lot of y'all be giving me boo-boo numbers. 65 views, 77 views. If y'all, I don't know, if y'all don't run these numbers up, y'all gonna have me thinking that y'all don't rock with me, which I'm going to be like, oh, okay, and continue to move on and give y'all these videos anyway. But I'm gonna just be like, right, someone with my hands up. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Peace.